Hello everyone, it's Matt from Set Happens Dog Training again, and today I'm going to do a video that's going to be completely unedited. The only thing that might happen is I might put some music on, which you'll already know because you'll have heard it already or not. Other than that, nothing's going to happen. There's going to be no cuts, no jumps, no nothing, and that's because I want a bit more of a personal touch for this video. And I want to talk about dog psychology and human psychology and how they need to merge together. So, for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, dogs have already adapted and changed a lot, but it's took them that long to adapt and change a lot, to learn human traits, like what we mean when because by the way, we are incredibly bad at communicating with dogs in general. We say what we mean, and to them we're saying the total opposite. Quick example, how many times have you seen, and this is just in general, like an old lady with a little dog, and the little dog's going mental, probably your dog, and the old lady's going, now you stop it, now stop being naughty. That might be a few of you, right? What's my voice saying there? What's this? I mean, if I had a toy in there, I'm playing, right? With that silly little hand movement. Now you stop it. You're saying good girl or good boy to the dog. And then usually the dog goes on, that they've been barking at, and then the person goes, how many times have I told you? And gets firm. And now that's still not right because she's still talking to him like a human and so on, okay? So that's not right. But it's better. But it's now at the wrong time. Now you're telling the dog off, still wrongly, but when he's not doing anything anymore, usually in that scenario. That older dog's gone. Your dog stopped barking. And then you tell him off because you're angry. We're so bad at communicating with dogs. So in this dog psychology, we need human psychology and dog psychology, okay? We can't just do dog psychology. So what is a human? Don't worry, I'm not going to patronize you and try and tell you what you are. Because that's the point, right? God, we're complex. We are. Like, I could sit here now, think of something, and change how I feel. Although nothing's changed. I'm still sat in this red chair. I'm still talking to you guys. But I could change completely how I feel. Dogs can't do that. I promise you. They cannot do that. They can be reactive. And that's it. So they can react to something that maybe you haven't perceived because they're working off sense of smell and ears before eyesight. And obviously we're very visually orientated. That's why I'm looking at you here. If I was talking like this the whole time, no matter how good the content was, you wouldn't watch, right? Because it's weird. Eye contact. The dogs, it's nose and so on. So they could pick up something you haven't even spotted, and then you can think, oh no, they must be feeling bad about something. They're feeling bad about a thing they've registered that you haven't, or have. But you see the point. So what is a human? God, far too complex. But what I do know is, we don't even know ourselves half the time, right? Who has that? By the way, everyone's about to say me, because it's everybody, right? Who has that other voice in the back of your head? If you decide to make a good decision. And it goes, no, don't do that. Go and do the bad one. And then you have the other voice saying, no, be good, do it well, push hard. And then you have the other one go, no, let's just forget about it. Or you do the bad thing, and then you have the other voice going, pathetic. How many times? We can't even control our own bodies, right? Our own brains. Now a dog. None of that. What does a dog do? How does it work? For all of my clients and all of my people who have seen me before, that's the same thing, clients and people. I told you this wasn't going to be edited. I said edit that stupid sentence out. Dogs work on energy and in the moment. That's it. So what do I mean by energy? Well, look at this energy now. I'm not trying, but I am. I'm being calm and concise. Why? Because I really want you to try and be able to watch this and pay attention. I don't want everything. I know maybe my hands a little bit. I apologise for that, but I don't want things going on around me and everything, and it being really energetic there, because that's going to distract from the message I'm trying to get across to you. The energy of you and the energy of the dog, and also the energy of anything else that's in the situation. So you also need to burn off your dog's literal energy, especially if you got a hyperactive dog, right? But that put to the side, because you need to walk your dogs. If you haven't, watch my 3 golden rules. The first one is exercise your dog. It's not even to do with dog training, is it? It's just taking your dog for a walk, or playing with it, stimulating it. Exercise your dogs. Anyway, they work on energy. They work on the energy that you're giving back And the dog will take any percentage of the energy they're after. Let me quickly explain. If you come home and your dog's jumping up and going crazy and trying to get your attention, and maybe you don't mind that, but the point is that's disrespectful, right? You wouldn't accept that from anything else. Burp. Told it was unedited. You wouldn't accept that from anything else. And also, you won't accept it when the dog tries doing it to someone else. You try and tell your dog to get down, right? It's not good behaviour. It's not that they've missed you loads. They have missed you, but that's not why they're jumping up you. That's not why they're bashing into you. That's not why they're being rude. And that's what it is. It's rude. I adore dogs, but it's rude. When you let that happen by going, oh, he's a good boy, okay? So you think, okay, well, clearly I'm rewarding that. The jumping up, right? Jumping up and you go, oh, he's a good boy. But if you also say, get down, remember, dogs take any percentage of the thing they're after. So that will do. So some dogs will get down and stay down. Some dogs will just jump back up again and you do it a few times and then they stay down, right? And you think, good, they've listened. Well, partially. They have kind of listened, but they've also got what they wanted. Not 100% of it. 100% is kisses, fuss, cuddles, hello buddy, how are you? Right? But they got some of it. So that'll do. It's that simple. So when we do dog training, I always like to say dog training because it's more people training and then applying the dog psychology. That's what it is really, but it's not as catchy. When we're doing that, we need to realise they're not thinking about how good or bad their day's been in the past. They're not thinking about something that happened before. They're not looking at you and thinking about all the things they love about you. Or all the things they don't like about you. Or if you look fat today, or if you look thin today, or if those jeans look nice, or all the stuff that's in our heads. No, none of it. What are they thinking? Thinking is limited too, because they have the brain power-ish of around a 2.5-year-old child, for most dogs. Some dogs a bit lower, some dogs a bit higher, but for most. What are they thinking? The energy of that situation is what they do. And right there in the moment. So they work on two things, energy and in the moment. Right there. Why do I keep saying right there? Well, I mean like right now. And now. And now. Now's a new one. 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 Does that mean you need to be with your dog thinking, oh my god, a new one, a new one, a new one, a new energy, a new energy, a new moment, a new moment, a new moment, No. You lose your mind. What does it mean? It means when we are training our dogs, you have to be present. You have to be there in the moment. That's it. That's what you have to do. If your phone rings, tough. If there's a knock on the door, tough. If you were dealing with something, you have to be in the moment. And here's another problem. Started off this ramble, which is now like, 8 minutes. And I said, what's a human? Because there's so much going on. It's hard to define in a few sentences, right? What is a human? Here's what a human is, remember? That. It's crazy. You've got loads of stuff going on, right? A dog can't understand that, oh, that's an important thing. I need to go deal with that. If you're doing the training with your dog, you need to be on it. So leading back into dog psychology, it's the energy and in the moment. It's not the energy they did 5 minutes ago. It's not the energy you think they're going to do in a second. So then you start doing it, whether it's tensing up because the dog's pulling on a lead and they start going. It's being present in the moment and being calm. Now, does that mean all you have to do is be present, just put your phone on silent, and all your problems with your dog will go away and just stay calm? No. The stuff you see in like Caesar Milan or that Victoria Stilwell woman or whatever and all those sorts of things where the dog seems to change really, really quick is obviously heavily edited. Sometimes not. Sometimes you can get a really quick miracle cure, but... So what does it mean? It means that's the first thing for you to do. Look, if you had a kid, now kids and dogs are not the same, but if you had a kid and they were panicky and you were trying to teach them not to panic whilst you panicked, you're stupid. You can't do it. Don't panic, son, don't panic. Don't you panic, though. It's stupid. Right? Don't do that. But also, if they're panicking, I'm pointing here, sorry, them, over there, invisible people. If they're panicking, your kids, or a friend, or whatever, and you're calm and clear, How do you be clear? If now we go back to dogs for a second, onto the psychology. By using the right energy, not by what you're saying. Yep, use keywords, that's fine. You use a specific word for a specific thing, that's fine. How you say it. How does your body language match it? So many times I see people go, no! Don't you be... It's like I've lost it straight away. I lost it. As soon as it changes, your whole demeanour's changed. I know you can only see this part, right, for me right now. But the dog can read it so well. So you've got to be calm before you can expect. I wish I could edit this video. I know I could, but I'm not going to. You got to be calm before you can expect them to be calm, whether that's humans or dogs, and in this case, obviously dogs. Does that on its own work? No. But that's what you need to be. So to start off with, what a dog is in dog psychology is they are reactive to the energy right there and then. Basically a dog. The other big difference between them and us, they use their sense of smell over their eyes. And we obviously use our eyes over our smell and so on, right? We are very visual, then hearing, then scent. The dogs, it's the other way around. Scent, hearing, visual. Quick little proof of this, because a lot of the time we teach our dogs, and I was just saying this to a client before actually, Lee, I'm sure he won't mind me saying this about him. I was just saying that the dog he had, even though actually his dog was very minimal problems, but what we do is we teach our dogs to be visual we don't even realise we're doing it. Quick example. No dog is ever pulling their owner at the end of the lead, bouncing around to try and get to dogs, barking and smelling. And no. Now, some dogs, like bloodhounds, basset hounds, pointers, and so on and so on. Working dogs, designed to go and hunt with a sense of smell. They can break that rule a bit. They can sort of be pulling at the end of the lead and rearing up on their back legs a little bit and just trying to, okay. Because remember, they want to get closer. They can smell the thing, but they want to get closer so they can smell it more, just like we would want to get closer so we could see it better. But apart from that very rare case, no, dogs are going mad, barking or pulling or whatever. And what are they doing? They're staring. Stare. And then can you get their attention? Most of the time, no, right? You can't. You just can't do it. Now, if a dog's smelling something on the floor, it's still not easy to get their attention, but a lot easier. If you literally call your dog when it's smelling something on the floor and he ignores you, and you do the gentlest little tug on the lead, that's not a correction. Don't worry, that's not a telling off. Just to say, hey, buddy, there's someone here, on the leg, the control point. And then call them again. A little bit of a high-pitched voice. Hello, buddy. Something like that. Hello. Almost always. Most dogs will. Try and do that with a dog on the end of the lead, staring at another dog, or a cyclist, or whatever their problem is. Or inside, looking out the window, staring at the postman or barking at him. Again, some dogs will. Some dogs will. I'm not saying this is a rule for everyone. But they won't. Why? Because we've made them visual. We've made them rely on a sense that isn't their most powerful. So then what happens? Well, they technically become blind. They're not, obviously. They can see, and they can also still smell, and that's what I meant. Their sense of smell is like our eyesight, so that's what I mean by blind, and they cut it off. But so many dogs do. If a dog is calm, they can smell. So that sentence you can't see for looking, and you're like, where are the keys, where are the keys, where are the keys? And then you calm down, and they're there. They're right there, and you go, oh, they're right there. They're too stressed. When a dog's too stressed, they don't smell. When they don't smell, they don't take information. When they don't take in information, they don't know how to process. They don't know what the thing is, so then they get more stressed next time. And what do we do whilst they're getting stressed? Well, imagine if you're doing that key scenario. Oh my God, where's my keys? Where's my keys? Where's my keys? Where's my keys? And I start going, hey, you, dude. Say your name's Tom. Okay, so you're Tom for a second. For any Toms out there, hello for real. For everyone else, you're now Tom for a sec. So Tom, you're going around going, where's my keys? Where are the keys? Where are the keys? Where are the keys? Oh my God, I'm late for work. I'm late for work. I'm late for work. What do you want? Do you want me pestering you? Hey Tom, Tom, stop it. Tom, look at this. 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 Tom, look at me. Tom, sit. Hey Tom. Hi, can I get a trainer for Tom, please? He doesn't listen to me. That's what I get. Those phone. I get, yeah, my dog is just not listening to me. I wonder why. Right? Now, I know I haven't explained how to get him to listen to you yet, right? Bear with me. Because we're trying to communicate with our animals most of the time when they're ramped up, when they're like, what's that? Or in this scenario, where's the key? Where? You don't want that. What we need to do is get them back on their primary senses, their sense of smell for a lot of dogs. Now, this isn't all dogs. Quite a lot of dogs aren't that bad. And also, don't try and communicate with your dog when they're amped up. Just like kids, right? I'll get off this topic in a second, but have a kid that even listens to you quite well. Take it to Wacky Warehouse. Do they listen as well? No, because they're running around having the best time playing. Don't try and get them to pay attention and think they're going to do the best, give you the best results and look at you and react to everything you say perfectly, or everything you do perfectly. When, first of all, if we go back a few steps, when we're not working properly on our energy, and remember, it's our energy and their energy, and right there in the second, everyone's too slow, near enough. Even people are like, oh, I thought I reacted really quick there. It'd be too slow for a dog. You want to be reacting like, so, if, this is weird. If this click, this hand didn't want, and to let it know, again, bear with me, I know this is very strange, but to let it know he didn't want it, and he had to, and this hand had to do this, right? Again, this is just a principle. This is all irrelevant. We don't do this when your dog does something. I should have edited this video. This is how most people's timings are with dogs. So remember, when this clicks, this is going to do this to say he doesn't want it, right? Obviously, we would replace this in real term for real things. Like if we didn't want a dog to do a behavior, we would add in the distraction quickly. If the dog wasn't too ramped up, we could take the energy the dog put on towards, say, another dog on the lead and distract it over here. If the dog was too much, we would have to go, what a lot of people don't like and it's uncomfortable, a bit more old school, and people won't accept it. They say, no, you have to be 1,200 foot away with treats and slowly get closer towards a dog and never let the dog get reactive. And if he starts barking, never punish and never tell off and go further back, and you'll be there forever. If a dog's really bad, sometimes you do have to be firm. Does that mean you hit the dog and you be mean and nasty, which is what I know a lot of people think? God, no. When I'm saying firm, I mean actually use your voice, use your body language firmly, you know. Be loud and powerful for a second, not screaming and shouting for a split second. Actually, like, shock the dog to make it go, which I use, which you've probably seen on Season Milan, but I didn't particularly get it from there. But, you know, like my fingers on the tap of the neck. Why? Well, what does it think about this? And I'll come back to this weird thing in a minute, right? This such a stupid talk. What would another dog do? And you don't always have to do what another dog would do, but why not? Why not learn from them? Because that's how they communicate with each other perfectly fine, right? If you have a load of dogs in the house, they get on fine. They understand without any talking. We always seem to rely on words. It baffles me. So what does a dog do? They warn the dog. They nip them. That's literally all you do in there, okay? But anyway, the point is, sometimes you have to be a bit firmer. And everyone's like, oh no, you can't be, you can be. I'm going to come on to that in a second. I'm going to explain why. And again, stick with me if you feel it makes common sense when I explain it more in a second. And if you don't, then fine. Back to this weird thing. The timing. Remember, this says no, this means no, and this is going to understand it, right? It's how most people do it. So the dog goes mad or does something you don't want. And then we finally do it. Most of the time we don't even do it properly, even though this isn't, you get the point, right? We wouldn't even do that. We wouldn't even do it properly. We'd sort of go, we do like a half-assed version of everything. What you need is, like every time, almost straight on it. And it takes a lot of practice. It does. But it's getting used to being really quick. So the dog goes, and you do it a few times, the dog goes, oh, is it this? And you do it again, and the dog starts to get, oh, this behaviour is the thing you don't like. But if the dog can do the equivalent of bark, 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 and again, there's nothing wrong with barking, it's if it's persistent and the dog's obviously getting stressed by the situation, right? Okay, bark, 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 bark. And then even if we do the right technique and we try and stop it, obviously this is not the technique to stop your dog barking. Don't look at your dog and do that. But we've done it after like 10 barks. What's that teach a dog? Bark until I tell you to stop. Like bark relentlessly and be upset and be stressed until I tell you to stop. That's stupid. You got to be quick, which means you also have to set up scenarios so then you can be even quicker and so on. But the point is, with all of this rambling, energy of you and the dog in the moment. It's two things. Think of how many things affect us. And now please take my word, it's two things that affect the dog. That is it. I do this a lot with my clients too, but bear with me, okay? So if clients, you've already seen it, apologise. Or should I say apologies or I apologise? But instead I said apologise. Because I can't edit. So if I was being really patronising and said, here's how we get your dog excited with this invisible toy, like real toy, watch. Again, my favourite word of the day right now, stupid. Why? Well, I'm clearly doing the wrong energy there, right? If I want to get them excited, because there's nothing wrong with the dog being excited. Some people always say, always calm, always calm. No, you just need to be able to calm the dog down again, okay? So anyway, playing, of course there should be excitement, right? Well, then I should be excited with the toy. And if every time I got this toy I was excited, hey-oh, we're now excited about that toy. By the way, that's what a lot of people do for dogs with the lead, which is why then you get the lead out and the dog goes mental and then he pulls you down the road. Because, burping again, you've made an item exciting that shouldn't be exciting because it just attaches you to me. Another time. So, with the tennis ball, or the chew toy or whatever, I've decided the invisible thing was a tennis ball. If I get excited properly, over time the dog will too over this item. It's really that simple. But you kind of already know that part, because if I just stand there and go, why is the dog excited about the invisible toy? Okay, so that makes sense, right? That's stupid. I should be excitable to get the dog excitable. So then why can't people get it into their thick heads? That's right, I said thick heads, so be offended and tell me off. Why can't people get it into their heads that sometimes some dogs you do have to be firmer with? People can't accept it. Everyone's like, no, just they're always force free. I can't even speak. Force free. Oh God. Always force free and positive. That is fantastic. The issue, and I could rabbit on about this all day, and then other dog trainers could come back and tell me off, and they could say their point, and I could say my point, and to make all those points go away. And again, if this doesn't make sense now, this next sentence, thumbs down and whatever, stop watching the video if you're still watching it this far. Do you, all of you, including the Toms still, do you honestly, hands down, believe there should not be consequences for anything or anyone in the world? That's it. Do you believe there are no consequences? If you do, off you go. Go stand on the M6. Please don't. See, this is the point. There's even consequence. Please don't. If you do that, I'm going to be in trouble. See? Consequences. They're real. We know they're real, right? And you might think, well, of course, a car hits me, I'm going to die or be really injured. That's nothing to do with dogs. The principle. Consequences are real. The problem is, I think people get confused and think that means then you're going to shout and scream at your dog and start hitting them. And no, never. However, this doesn't mean that you can't be firmer when you need to be, which is not very often. But you have to have an ability to tell the dog no. And some dogs, you don't want to be firm at all, really, because they're really scared and nervous dogs. So there you need to be really calm with those dogs and mildly assertive. So if that dog was, say, barking at you and going crazy or something because he was nervous, no one would want to come down on that dog like a ton of bricks because he's nervous. That's no good. But you also wouldn't want to be really soft, because what that dog needs in that nervous time frame is a leader. Now, don't start thinking, oh, he's going to talk about pack leaders and all. Forget about it for now. Don't mean that. What I mean is that they simply need a leader. If you were nervous, now dogs and humans are different, like I keep saying, that's why the whole thing about dog psychology, human psychology, but if you were nervous, if you were scared, I mean, it could have might make you feel better for a second, but you need a leader to help you out of that scary situation. So if there's a really nervous dog, like going mad at me and barking or whatever, I'd have the owner join me and help with this. But we would simply, and it takes some time, now, there's loads of other options for this, but it's just an example, okay? So don't think, oh, this is the only thing he does with this nervous dog, right? It's not. But just, no. No. Just keeping that. So what am I doing there? I'm not being threatening. I'm not being super loud. I'm not being aggressive. But I'm not backing off. I'm not advancing. I'm using hands because dogs, all they're interested in is eyes to look at or hands, right? So, no. I'm putting up a little bit of a barrier and I'm letting them know I'm not going away and I'm not advancing. Now, will that fix the dog? Absolutely not. But for a first introduction for me, I'm not being threatening, I'm not backing off. What does the dog start getting? This guy isn't listening. You get the owner to do this too. Please, if you have a bit of a nervous dog, don't just do this. Okay, there's a lot more to it. I just want to get a point again across of an energy. The dog starts having to follow some leadership. You're basically saying to the dog, but it isn't like this because this is me explaining it in a human way again, but you're basically saying to the dog, that is not working on me. Now, if you start going, hey, no, which is what a lot of people do because no one wants to admit it, but they get wound up, right? It gets annoying after a while of a dog yapping at you, barking. It's not going to work. The dog's just going to crap itself. Either carry on barking even more because they're now even more scared, or run off. And yeah, okay, you start barking, but he hasn't learned anything. The dog's just scared, which is the last thing we want. So back to the consequences. If you believe you shouldn't have consequences in the world for anything, well, go and live in your fairyland, because it's insane. There should be consequences, and there should be rewards. What's wrong with that? Now, if you tie that in with what a dog is, how a dog works, energy in the moment, then you just have to do those consequences and rewards quick. That's where a lot of people fall down. Plus, they don't do the consequences or rewards. They just try and do the rewards all the time. That's basically it. Now, obviously, that doesn't show you and tell you how to train a dog. That's why I'm doing these how to train a dog videos. And if you've watched the first two, they are very, very positive because you want to get that into your dog. You want to get into the dog when you're really happy. You want to get into the dog that looking at you then makes you really happy. And then next week's, we're going to progress. So every time you can use positive reinforcement and rewarding the dog for doing the right thing, happy days. But when the dog's doing the wrong thing and it's dangerous, or doing the wrong thing and it's been getting worse slowly, you've been trying everything and it just seems to be getting worse, which is when a lot of people get in contact with me because they're like, I don't know what else to do anymore. I'm at the end of my tether. I can't get through to this dog. What does that dog need? He needs to be told you're not happy with that behaviour and you're really happy with this one. But no one allows you to do that, or no one wants you to. I'm saying no one. All of my clients are fine with it because I explain all these sorts of things properly. If you had a child and you never said no and you never put any stress on it, which is another thing I want to get into, having systematic stress put onto a dog. oh no, I can't, no, I don't want any stress on them because I love them too much. Shut up and go away then. Get off, ugh, get off this planet and go and find your weird fairyland. Are you watching this? Have you ever had stress in your life? Of course you have. Have you had a really stressful time over coronavirus, this COVID time, being locked in, mental stress, and anything, physical stress, not being able to get it out exercising, mental stress from payments, bills, right? Are you dealing with it? Yeah. Are you dealing with it really badly? If you are, maybe, I'm not trying to jump to conclusions, please don't take offense to this. Maybe you haven't had that much stress in your previous life. Now there's always exceptions to the rule. But so you don't know how to deal with stress well. And if you have had it, and you're one of those many types of people that go, right, panic a little bit, and then, okay, this is the problem, how do we fix it? Start trying to figure out ways to fix it. Can I get an extra job? Can I get extra work? Can I go and deliver parcels? Can I do a part-time job somewhere? Can I set up my own little business? This now might be the time. Can I help people? Can I go and join the NHS voluntary service thing? Can I do something to help? You've learned throughout your life how to deal with stress. So then when a stressor comes along, you can process it. Why won't people do that with dogs? Again, though, it's always in smaller condensed periods of time because it's energy and in the moment, right? It's not over a long period of time. People won't do it with dogs. Dogs do it to each other. They put stresses on each other through play, pinning them down a little bit in play, and the other one then pins the other one down, and that's them tussling, figuring out who's in charge and stuff, right? And when I say who's in charge, please don't think it's always like, oh, there's the dominant one out of the... Who's in charge in play there and then. Who is the dominant one for sure, but it doesn't mean that then now that's the Lord and Almighty ruler. I think that's how it comes across sometimes when people think of dominance and so on. They want to be a pack, they want to be harmonious, but they will still have clear leaders. But not putting stress on a dog, it baffles me. Here's what happens to most people, okay? Most. They get a pup or a rescue dog. If it's a pup, they treat it pathetically. And when I say pathetically, I just mean they don't put any rule, apart from trying to make sure it wheezes and poos outside. All they do is reward it for basically everything. And put no boundaries and no limitations on it. And when I'm saying this, I bet you're thinking, oh God, stop being such, a stick in the mud or whatever the sentence would be. Stop being so hard on them. You don't be hard on the pup. You don't be mean or nasty. What I mean is that a lot of people just give them basically no rules. Apart from they teach them to sit because they think that makes a good dog. Blows my mind. They don't limit the dog's freedoms and give it more freedoms as the dog earns the respect to have the freedoms. Like you do with a kid. I remember when I was small, I couldn't go... Everyone probably had this, especially as kids. Everyone sort of my age, 30s and guess 40s and so on. When you were a kid, you couldn't... I couldn't go past the green, the bit of grass. I couldn't go past there until I got to a certain age. Then I was allowed further past there. Before that, I couldn't cross the road without holding your mum's hand. And then I was allowed to. See, freedoms are given to us after a period of time. I couldn't just go and grab a cookie. I had to ask. Then it became a point where I could get one without having to ask. Because my mum trusted that I knew to not have too many before dinner or whatever, right? Okay, you see, this is the same for dogs, but just with different circumstances. But we don't do it. So because they're small and they're young when we get them as pups, they're so cute, we don't put very few rules we put on them. Or if we get a dog from a rescue, oh my God, even worse. Partially I should be happy because it pays my bills. But I don't want having to be helping people. If I couldn't do this job because people understood how to treat dogs properly, I'd be doing another job, which would suck. But I'd be really happy too. Because when people get a puppy or they get a rescue dog, generally all they do is shower with just giving it everything, love and affection for everything, for nothing. It doesn't matter what it does. Doesn't matter. That's insane. That's insanity. Instead, just like us. They need tons of that, just like us. I need tons of love. My girlfriend does a really good job. She's lovely, right? She's amazing. And if she didn't show me any love and affection, well, I wouldn't be with her. And she wouldn't be with me, vice versa. And kids, you have to give all the love and affection to. And friends and family, which we all know better than any other time right now with the coronavirus. Love, affection. God, it's important. But also for the love of God. Watch how dogs interact with other dogs. Watch YouTube videos of a mother greeting her pups. Look how nice that is. It's not, by the way. Word of warning, it's not nice. She's pretty aggressive to them. Does she hurt them? No. But she teaches them, you do not dare jump up me and climb all over me unless I say so, right? And she teaches them firmly. So as much as they absolutely 100% need tons of love and affection, they need rules and boundaries, and they need to work for this stuff first. Don't put your dog on the dole. It's just what I say to a lot of my clients. That's what people do. They just give their dog everything. And then when I come along and I have this slightly firmer attitude towards it, they'll go, oh, you just, I say they, not clients, other dog trainers. And loads of them are great, by the way. Tons are amazing. But so many now that are on this only positive reinforcement bandwagon. The problem is that, first of all, they're liars, by the way. No dog trainer. I can't help it. Trainer. Does only positive reinforcement. And if you do, as a dog trainer, or if you know of one that does, comment down below. They don't. Here's how I know they don't. Ready? Because it's the definition. What is positive reinforcement? It is adding something to reward the dog, to reinforce that behavior, okay? So if that's all you are, if you're only a positive reinforcement dog trainer, you can never do anything negative to the dog. Now, negative doesn't mean what you think. It doesn't mean nasty, which it isn't anyway, but. So if you see one of these positive reinforcement dog trainers with a dog on the end of the lead, and the dog's barking at other dogs, going mental and getting agitated, right? And it's not a happy place for the dog to be. And all they're doing is gently bringing the dog back and trying to put treats. Oh, hang on, they've just pulled it back. That is negative, because you're taking the situation away from the dog a little bit. Failed. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, that's being pedantic. No, it's not. Being serious. Positive reinforcement alone is stupid. That's that word again, stupid. Right? If after this video, and I've rambled for ages and I've gone all over the place, only everyone gave me good comments and nobody said, actually, you know what, this could be a good thing to do, you know, a bit of constructive criticism. Or if you really don't like it, I mean, that's totally cool. You tell me, that's fine. I won't learn anything. I won't learn whether a video like this is any good, or if parts of it are good and other parts aren't. I won't learn a thing. Dogs need that too. You can't just say good boy, good girl and give them treats all the time and try and bribe them with treats to get them away if they're losing their minds at something. Now, occasionally you can. Again, always exceptions to the rule. Certain dogs, certain things, occasionally you can. Like generally Labradors, because they're so obsessed with food. And then you need to systematically phase food out, and you need to also systematically make sure that you start as quickly as possible implementing a command word and voice inflection on that command to make before you give the treat, after you've bribed for a while, so that you get them to start working for the command, then the treat, rather than just the treat, or else the treat's there, they listen, the treat's not there, they don't. But other than that, it doesn't work. You can't just do positive reinforcement. The world has consequences for every animal, including me. Sure, we're going to get a load of backlash from all these positive reinforcement dog trainers. Oh, I'm never negative. I never tell the dog off, and I never will. One, we're not telling the dog off. So in all fairness, they wouldn't say that. They wouldn't say they never tell the dog off, but they'd be like, I never punish the dog. Yeah, you do. You just try and find more subtle ways of doing it. You do punish the dog. And there's nothing wrong with it. The problem is people see the extremes and they don't pay attention to actually finding the middle ground. They see people losing their temper with dogs. That is no good. Never. No. see people snapping, getting angry. They see people getting frustrated and changing their energy. Remember, their energy, what I mean by that is how they're feeling. How many of you have been out with your dog and it's just stressful? You're feeling stressed the whole time. How's the dog feeling? Stressed. Again, so what did I say ages ago, along with tons of other stuff, probably like 20 minutes ago? Sorry, I got real itchy nails. I wish I could edit this part, but I can't, so apologies. If you're watching this far, serves you right. You have to watch me. Oh, okay. Thanks for sticking with me. So, you're walking out with your dog, and you're stressed, he's stressed. Of course he is. So are you. Everything's stressful about it. Just being calm doesn't work. Just being positive reinforcement doesn't work. And just correcting doesn't work either. Saying, I don't like that behaviour. You have to have all of it. It's like anything in life, balance. You really have to. And that seems to be a trigger word for other dog trainers too, this balanced dog training. What's wrong? Balance is the correct answer for basically everything in life. Drink far too much, become an alcoholic? That's no good. Don't drink at all? Okay, yeah, definitely has its positives and pros, but a lot of people like to have a little drink here and there and enjoy themselves. Food, eat tons and tons and tons of chocolate cake and stuff, you get really unhappy with it, overweight, fat. Sorry, another trigger word there. Don't eat hardly anything, have a really unhealthy relationship with food on the opposite side. Be skinny, be anorexic. No, balance, middle. Drive like a nutter. Too fast, idiot. Drive stupidly slow, people are stuck behind you going, come on, speed up, idiot. Balance. Everything. You get the point. I'd love to go on for ages because I really like to drill a point home, even though I know you understand it, right? Balance. It's the same with dogs. But we have to be calm, not snap and start getting angry. The dog doesn't understand that. We have to realise they only work on energy and in the moment. So if they've been an annoying little you-know-what 10 minutes ago, that can't affect now. They've been an annoying little what 10 seconds ago, that can't affect now. Doesn't. A dog, by the way, another thing, I won't go into this, but I keep burping. A dog can't annoy you. They can annoy you, but they can't mean to annoy you. So if they are, you've got to get, dogs don't try to annoy you. Annoying is a human trait. Wind your mate up or do it seriously to someone you don't like, right? It's not a dog thing. So, to sum up all this rambling, dogs are reactive, not proactive like us. We can be reactive too, obviously, but you get the point. They work on energy and in the moment. They go off their sense of smell before anything else. If they're fixated on something, it'll be because we've accidentally been teaching them to fixate on their eye, use their visual senses over their sense of smell, okay? If you can't get your dog's attention and so on, I'm working on that through my dog training videos on training dog from scratch, but realise what you're trying to do. Remember Tom's, where's my keys, where's my keys, where's my keys, where's my keys? Don't try and communicate with your dog then. So if I need to get Tom's attention then and say, hey buddy, your keys are over here, I have to go, Tom, hey, stop, dude, stop. Calm down. Come here, man. Look. Here's your keys. There you go. Have a good day, mate. No, don't worry about it. That's my invisible conversation my conversation with invisible Tom. You see the point there? I might have had to snap him out of it. Was that nasty? No. Have I helped him? Yes. That's what we need to do with dogs. Don't start calling your dog Tom and putting your hands up and say, hey. But you see how I had to demand this invisible man over here's attention? And then I communicated with him. That's what we need to do with dogs. We need to first of all have them in a calmer state and get them to pay attention to us. You can't do that by just going, hey buddy, please have this treat. Please just... You give that afterwards. So, dog psychology is actually really simple. They're really... Say what you see. If they could play a game show, it would be they'll play catchphrase. Say what you see. That's it. They see it, they hear it, they smell it, they know, they've learned through time what energy they do to get the response they're after. I bark at the postman, he leaves. Pushed the postman off. No, you haven't, but to the dog you have. That principle, right? I bark when I'm on the end of the lead and the dog goes. The other dog goes away. No, it doesn't. You haven't sent them off, but you think you have. I jump up you and you give me attention. Even if you say, get down, it's attention. I jump up on the sofa and move you out of the way and you move a little bit. Good, I can claim your space. Oh, but I don't mind, because I don't mind my dog beside there. How would you feel if anyone else in your family came over and just shoved you out of the way a little bit? You'd say, hey, why? Now are you being nasty to them? No. You're saying, hey, this is my space, give me some... What you're basically saying is, have some respect. We don't do these things with dogs. We don't teach them any respect for us. We just let them climb all over us. In fact, we encourage it. Come on, buddy. And they're jumping up all over us. And then when you have someone like me saying that these things are bad, and it's bad because it just boils down to respect again, you think, oh, God, boo-hoo. Look at him, bar humbug. And I don't mean that. Dogs can come on me. They can climb on me. My dogs do. I'm doing that because they're downstairs, but our dogs do. But it's about having the respect first. It's about how they do it. If I come over to your house and knock on your door, if you want me to come over and you want to be one of my clients, I will say, hi, nice to meet you. Can I come in? Yeah, sure, of course you can. Thank you. And I go in. And I'll say, do you want me to take my trainers off or my shoes off or my boots, whatever I've got on? Why am I doing that? Why did I ask if I could come in? Because it's your house and I respect you about that. Why did I ask you about my trainers? Because it's your carpet or your floor and I respect that. Then I might say, can I take a seat? If you haven't already offered. And then usually people say, would you like a cup of tea? What are all these things? Manners, respect. What happens if I just came in, kicked your door in? I know this is excessive. Booted your door in, came in muddy, dirty trainers, traipsed it all over the floor, jumped, climbed on your sofa, flipped my feet up, mud all over the curtains and stuff, and said, get us a beer. And you did. You did do that. Someone over there watching, would they need to come and ask me if I respect you or not? No, they could just tell, right? Because look how I just greeted you. I'm just being rude. I've done lots of bad human manners. Dogs have manners too. It's space. It's their energy towards you. If they can just come in and just go jumping all over you, if they can just come in and go and bark at you until you give them attention. How many people have problems? You try and talk to someone on the phone, your dog's barking continually until you stop. Because you create spoiled little brats. There's nothing wrong with a dog barking. But not for there, again, in that type of situation. I'm going to be barking when they're releasing energy, like when you're playing with them or something, and or you teach them to speak on command, or they're barking at a dog that is their play friend. And they're like, come on, chase me. They're running off and being chased and barking and stuff, and they're just having fun. Some dogs like to bark like that, that's fine. They're little bark when there's a knock on the door. There's someone here, that's what they're saying. A little bark when someone passes by, or when a dog goes past and they're in the garden and they're going, woof, 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 and they're saying hello. Fine. But that relentless crazy barking or jumping up all over you, or all these sorts of things. People are, well, I don't really mind it that much. It's not about whether you mind it that much. It's about realising dog psychology. And also humans, and remembering it's just manners and respect. We need to start getting across to people. The dog has to earn what you give it. Just like us. How many of you know a spoilt brat? I know of one I can think of right now. Absolute spoilt brat. Some of them work, some of them don't, but they're just always sponging off the parents. Or a lot of them don't work at all, on the dole. It's just, no, not many people like them. And they might be nice people, but they've developed a new set of habits and principles. If they sponge all the time. Do we like them? No. Why? Anything against their character? Not really. Just the way they are, we don't like it now. Don't put your dogs on the dole. Don't do that. Teach them values and boundaries. If you want to know how to do all these things for real, and because I know I've just rabbited on and I haven't told you anything, because that's not what this video is about. This video is all just about the stuff always going on in my head. If anything, thank you for listening. I just wanted to vent. It drives me insane. Don't reward dogs for running off from their owners by giving them fuss if they come over to you. Don't reward dogs by, when they're pulling to try and get to you, start talking to them and pointing at the dog, or go over and give it fuss. Don't reward dogs when they're barking by saying, oh, aren't you a naughty boy, or so, and something like that, right? Help people like you would with a kid. If a kid came running over to you and you saw the parent go and calling them back, what would you do? You'd say, hey, no, darling, come on. There's your mummy. Go on. You'd send her back straight away. But for some reason with dogs we go, oh, you're a good little cheeky boy, aren't you? Actively reward them to run away. Don't reward a dog for jumping up all over you when they come in the house. No. Just like you wouldn't let your kids jump all over someone. Maybe not jump all over, but you get the point, right? Go running over and harass them. Hey, leave him alone for a second. Leave him alone, you'd be saying, right? Do you want a cup of tea? How many times leave him alone? You'd be telling the kids, give him a second or whatever, right? Don't give the dog more rules over you than you have over him. More respect, more boundaries. If your dog was lying in the dog bed, perfect dog, friendly with everything, and a kid came over and started trying to climb on it, what would you say? Hey, no, leave him alone. I know some people wouldn't, but you should do. 99% of people say, hey, don't climb on the dog. He's trying to sleep on the dog bed, right? Or he's lying down on the dog bed or whatever. He might not be sleeping. What do we do though? So you there taught that dog over time, if you kept doing that, no one's allowed on you or on that dog bed but you. And then what do? We're on the sofa and the dog comes and jumps on us and climbs on us and we sort of move out the way and let them get comfortable. So hang on a second. So we can't climb on you, but you can climb on us. You don't even need to be a dog trainer to know that's surely wrong, right? It's so silly. There's thousands of these rules, but they all come down to the same thing, which is respect. A bit of respect and discipline before all that love. That's all. So what is dog psychology? It's realizing actually they're really simple. They're really simple. They work on energy and in the moment. That energy is their energy and your energy. Is their energy getting the version of your energy they want? Any version of it. If it is, they're going to keep doing it. If it isn't, they won't. As long as then when they do the right energy, we then give them the thing they're after. And right there and then in that second. They say within 1 to 3 seconds. Aim for 1 second. To correct or reward. Or to distract or reward. And so on. And let's start helping each other out. Let's stop rewarding other people's dogs and our own for the wrong behaviours. And then getting in contact with someone like me or any other dog trainer. This isn't a sales pitch. It never was. And I never have done. I've never done sales pitches for anybody, for myself. Use any dog trainer you want. So I'm fine. But don't then call the dog trainer and say, oh, the problem with my dog is he launches at other dogs and is really leash reactive. Or he won't come back. And then we come around to see you and we also see he won't sit unless there's 0 distractions. He won't lie down unless you have a treat. He jumps all over us. He's running. He's demanding attention when we're trying to have a conversation. And again, you'll probably say, "Oh, yeah, he likes to be centre of attention." Well, think about it. All these things, and that's just a few. You're teaching this dog that rules don't really apply to him. There aren't real boundaries and rules. There's nothing apart from pee and poo outside. Everyone's good at that one. Apart from that, there's no real boundaries or rules. There's loads on us. Because if you bark at me, if you put that boundary on me, hey, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, bark, I will do that. So that we teach the dogs to put boundaries and rules on us, but we don't put any on them. Why? Oh, because he's so cute. I think he's cute too. Please don't think I'm a robot. I think that dog's adorable, whatever dog you've got right now you're stroking. Just like I think my dogs are adorable. But I won't be selfish. And what I mean by that is I won't be selfish and take what I want over what that dog needs. I won't go, oh, but look at him. He's so soft and gentle. I just love him. I don't mind that he's doing that. No, if it's a negative behaviour, if it's rude, if it's bad manners, then we need to stop it and get in contact with me or any other dog trainer, and hopefully they'll be able to work through it with you. I know I will, but I'm sure that a lot of them will do too, if not all of them. So, bit of a big ramble session. I really wish I didn't decide I wasn't going to edit this now because I want to cut bits out and add bits, but I'm not. I'm going to leave it as it is. So please remember, a dog is not a human. It is a dog. It does not need to be treated like a human. That's what we want to do, and I get it. I fight that urge every day too, but it's selfish to treat them like a human, to put emotions on them. Let's go down to remote apology and it's just human emotions on animals, and don't do it. Don't. Well, you're going to, because it's natural, but we need to try and refrain from it, especially when we're training. We need to realise, to a dog, here's what we want to make clear. What am I happy with? What am I not happy with? What makes me happy? What doesn't make me happy? And we also need to remember that trying to get their attention when they're going, ah, is not possible, really. It's stupid. Again, that stupid word. I like saying it like that. We have to wait until they're calmer. Again, techniques need to come in to get that sometimes, and other things need to be done to get that. So again, I know I haven't explained those things. They're the things we do face to face when I see your dog and your dog's issues itself and all that sort of good stuff. But we need to realise that we need to stop just talking to them like human beings. Stop trying to tell them, hey, you, stop doing that. Stop having people reward your dog for running off. Stop having people reward your dog for pulling or barking. Stop you doing it for other people's dogs too. We need to start working together collectively and be somewhere more like, to be honest, I mean, Germany. I lived in Germany for 4 or 5 years, or 4 years, back when I was in the army, and all their dogs there have jobs, they have purpose, and they're all so happy and content, and you can literally take a dog into a china shop. I saw it. People took dogs into china shops. Imagine doing that here. It'd be chaos. Everything would be broken. You'd have to buy everything. People walk dogs into china shops. They had them out with them all the time. Why? Because they weren't a hassle. But why weren't they a hassle? Because they were treating them like dogs to begin with. They weren't treating them like humans. And then the dog gets really confused and does all these weird behaviours to try and get a response that it wants. And then we give them a response. And you go around and around and around in circles. So if you have any issues, any problems, I mean, put them in the comments and I'll get back to as many of you as possible, if not all of you. But also, if you need my help, let me know. I'll come over and we will do absolutely, let me reiterate this and finish on this point, as much positive reinforcement as we can. As much as we can. And even negative reinforcement, which sounds bad, right? But that can be taken, all that means is taking a thing away to reward the dog. So say your dog's terrified of hoovers. One aspect, there'll be many more too, but one aspect would be once we get it to calm down, we will take the hoover away. That is actually a negative reinforcement. Good, you being calm gets the thing to go away. So don't get too hung up on, this is only a positive reinforcement, dog trainer, and this, he uses negative Don't get hung up on that, okay? What you will get from me, though, is as much positive reinforcement as physically possible. Unless we have a moment where you basically have a spoilt brat. What should we do? Try and tell that spoilt brat to stop crying so we can give it some ice cream? No. He needs to know it's not acceptable. Then he can have ice cream. If that makes sense. I've suddenly changed the dog into a child there, but you get the point, right? You get the principle. I feel quite... I feel quite good. I feel like a weight's been lifted. I mean, it kind of has, actually. I've trimmed all my beard off, but... okay, I should probably stop rambling. Bet you wish that about half an hour ago if you're still watching. Thank you very much for watching. Really, thank you. Thank you for sticking with me if you stuck this entire length of time. I'm really, really impressed and pleased. I've got to say it one more time. Stupid. Okay, thank you very much. All the other videos will be, a bit more back to normal, back to shorter time frames and edited and all the drivel taken out, which a lot of this has probably been. If it hasn't, please let me know that too, because that would be nice. Sometimes I get confused and think just because I've thought of all these processes before would make them boring, but maybe they're not. Give me a like, give me a subscribe if you want to. Share, please, if you want to. If you think people want to bother reading or listening, should I say, to what, like 59 minutes worth almost. Okay, so just remember, please don't treat a dog like a human. Please don't put human emotions on them. Don't be rewarding them for negative behaviours and then try and call up a dog trainer or message a dog trainer like me and say, there's a problem over here, when actually there's like 1,200 problems because you haven't taught your dog any rules or boundaries and then taught it that's how it gets a reward. Make your dogs work and then hugely reward them. Give them bonuses. Give them, like you might get, give them bonuses for working that extra hard. Give them paydays, but all in short moments of time. Don't make them work all day for one big payday. Little and often, short little periods. Don't just put them on the dole and let them do whatever they want and then wonder why they're being reprobates. Okay, hope all that kind of made sense. You might have to watch it a few times if you can bear watching this thing over and over again. Cool. Thank you. Oh, I've just finished with a thumbs up and now I can't edit it out. Okay, bye.